Do you know actually something that's super fun that I really wanted to talk to you about?
Oh,
And
what?
I looked down just quickly because I wrote notes because obviously like I'm cool. But like no, because it was actually I just wrote
I'm
out
glad you
the
did because
draft
I
list.
feel like I had 12 things to bring up to you and I have forgotten
Well,
all of
this is
them.
it.
So,
This is it. I look because I literally I just wrote like the drafts because I could be like, right, who's moved and what's going on everywhere because I quite like to have a note of it.
uh-huh.
However, the one thing that I'm like so jazzed about is this Escape the Undertaker on Netflix,
I
which came out
know.
today, and I've not looked at it, and it's interactive, so it's like it feels like my favorite. So like as a kid, did you read Goosebumps books?
I
Of
loved
course you did.
Goosebumps.
I was going to say, of
Absolutely.
course you
Love
did.
Goosebumps. Love
This
R.L.
is why.
Stein.
Oh, that's it. That's why we are just. I
Did
know
you ever
this is
watch the
like.
show?
I never watched the
It was
show.
fun. It was like Are You Afraid of the Dark? It was kind of like one of
Like
those kind of
we,
deals.
like I watched like the odd episode, but it wasn't like I was kind of like see at that point because it was on. It was on like see like kids TV after school.
Uh-huh.
So I was kind of like I felt more evolved, and I was watching like things like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and
Oh,
stuff at
yes.
that time. It was like, yeah, I'm a grown up. Like when I'm sitting having my like dinosaur nuggets and potato waffles, I was like, "Ah, I'm gonna watch like grown up like teenager TV.
Yeah.
So I kind of didn't watch it as much, but like I watched the films and stuff with Jack Black and I loved it. And like I did have like a wee bit of fun with that. But like Goosebumps was my favorite thing. My favorite Goosebumps books were the ones where you chose your outcome.
The choose your own
Like
adventure style
yes,
ones. Yeah.
so they were
Was it
always my
was
favorite.
it Reader Beware you choose the scare, right?
Yes, yes. It was so exciting. So they were always my favorite ones. And there was only I think about 4 or 5 of them. There wasn't many. But this apparently this Netflix thing is an interactive thing and you choose the fate of the nudie and I'm like, ah, like this is huge.
I know,
Like
I'm
and
so excited.
it's
I'm so
legit
excited.
all my favorite things like a haunted house, the freaking nudie, like Undertaker, wrestling. I can't cope. It's basically somebody has come into my brain and been like, and this choose your own ending thing. I swear to God, like WWE must have like bugged me somewhere and are literally just like, right, let's make this for
It's
Jen,
like this is so
please.
specifically for Jennifer Louise, like 100%
100%.
written for you.
I'm not joking. Like, and I would fight anyone who says different because I genuinely feel this is the most me thing. I know obviously there's like a million out people out there who have the exact same interests as I do, but I feel as if this was for me.
But it's such a specific cross section, right? Like I would say it's almost specifically for me, but it does involve the Undertaker. So like that part's a little bit not for me.
Totally.
That's more for you than for me.
But then you got to make it spooky. If they did the Fiend, fair. But
Yeah.
then the thing is, like, if you need to get people on Netflix and who are like, oh my
But the
god, the
Undertaker's
Undertaker, I've
gonna
not
bring more
watched
people to
wrestling
Netflix
for.
than the Fiend. Like I love the Fiend. Don't get me wrong. Like I love Bray Wyatt. He was always like he's one of my faves. He will always be one of my faves. But like the Undertaker is a bigger name. The
But
Undertaker's
that's
gonna draw people in. The Undertaker is so many people's favorite childhood wrestler,
that's
which is why I was very unpopular and inside the ropes for a while.
but this is the thing as well. Like, especially when people are like, do you know what I mean? Like people who've like maybe never even properly watched wrestling since they were
Mm-hmm.
like, 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
And then see The Undertaker and they're like, holy crap, this guy's still going. Like they know nothing about wrestling now. They're gonna watch that. Like I would watch that if I hadn't been into it. Like if I'd kind of given up when I did give up as a kid, I would see that on Netflix and be like, holy crap, I'm watching this. Like, do you know what I
Well, and the
mean?
great thing is too, having the New Day, obviously the New Day are very established stars at this point. They've been a team for a long time, but they're not necessarily people like people don't necessarily know them if they haven't been watching like since the
Yeah,
Attitude Era or since they were kids, right? Like that was I wrote a column about it in Inside the Ropes magazine. Plug, look behind me, there they are. But when I went to SmackDown in Tulsa, it was like it was a very casual crowd, and they didn't know who I would consider some of the top stars. People were just kind of
oh
like, I
right,
don't know who
uh-huh.
these people are. I don't really care about them. So having the Undertaker in it, and then having the New Day also get that mainstream
Yes.
exposure, I think is great because they're three guys that can absolutely carry that more into the mainstream world with the gaming stuff that they have. With just I like all of that kind of cross promotion, like
Exactly.
the cross culturalness of
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. I love that too. I love it when worlds collide. Like I really do. Oh, don't check me. Like, but I do love it like when that happens. Because do you know what? And as well, that's quite a smart thing about the brand, like or the New Day split across brands. Because if people start watching this and go, I quite like them as a threesome,
Yeah.
and then they watch like, oh wait a minute, so and so's on this one, so and so's on that one, so we'll maybe watch both or like catch both, like just to
Uh-huh.
see, then maybe see something else. It's very smart marketing, smarketing as I like to
Good
call it.
old
But
smarketing.
like
We love it.
smarketing, right? I'm like, I think it's super clever. And also the fact that they've done it in time for Halloween, it's spooky. People like at this time of year, I always think it's so funny because like as a pure 365, like Halloween is my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, just look at my house, like it is my life. So I love it at this time of year when so many people are like, I'm gonna start watching scary things and get into the mood, and I'm like, yes you are. So this is the kind of thing that, you know, they've done it at a perfect time. Like I love it, and I'm so excited, and I'm saving it, Sonda. I was like, I'm off on Saturday and I've got no plans on Saturday, and I'm like, that's what I'm doing on
Yeah.
Saturday. Like I am
Well,
going
it's
to
something you need
totally
to
chill
set
out.
aside some time for, right? Like
Oh
this
my
is not a
gosh.
watch in the background kind of a situation. This is
A
a like
hundred
it
percent.
has to
I've
be
got a fate.
interactive.
Yeah, I've got a fate of Big E, my future potential husband, to decide.
Exactly. It's
So
very serious
I,
well,
well, this is it exactly, and I will 100% be live tweeting it.